So, it's October 30th, 2020. Shall we look at this week's news? Roll the titles. Hi guys, it is Mr. Scotty Pie and I am back for another video. As I said in the intro, this is this week's movie and TV news from the 30th of October 2020. Is a bit to talk about this week, not as much as usual weeks, but still quite a few new things to talk about. So, before I do jump into the news, please do go and hit that like button if you do enjoy this video. Feel free to do that any time in the video, but if you want to just assume you're going to enjoy this video, as I'm sure you will, why not do it now before you forget? And while you're down there, why not hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy trailer reactions, movie reviews, general movie talk, and of course this weekly movie news. If that is your sort of thing, why not hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video? So, without further ado, let us jump into firstly, postponements. So, not many this week. It seems to be slowing down on the postponements front. Obviously, with a lot of films now postponed so far into the future, it's going to be less of a worry. A lot of films now are coming out mid to late next year. So, hopefully they will be back to normal by then. But what we do have is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Obviously, this is the new story of Ghostbusters. I think this is like a sequel to the originals, but quite a far distant sequel. Telling like the grandkids, I think it was. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that trailer. But that is now getting a June 2021 release. I think initially this was supposed to be a late spring, early summer release that got taken out with no release date. Now it has June 2021. The reason for this release date, it's going to be the exact same weekend, but 30 years to the weekend since the very first Ghostbusters film was released. So obviously they're going to try and capitalise on that. And the second postponement this week, the Tomb Raider 2, obviously the first one starring Alicia Vikander, was a success, not a huge success I don't think, but it was successful enough to make a sequel. I thought that film was alright, but just alright. But I will be watching the sequel to see what happens in that one. But we won't be seeing that one for the foreseeable future. MGM decided to remove this completely from their release schedule. Obviously, I think they're going to wait until the world has some normality before they think about when they're going to release that. So if you're looking forward to that film, I can't help you when it's going to come out, because nobody knows at this point. It's just going to be a waiting game. So that was it, just 2 postponements this week. Hopefully this is going to see the end of postponements and we actually start getting films released. That's the big wish for everybody, I am aware. So let's move on to the dreaded cancelled. Only one thing's been cancelled this week, which is still more than last couple of weeks. But if you're a fan of the TV show Mindhunter, I'm sorry to say there will not be a season 3. David Fincher, obviously the creator of this show, has confirmed that this week. Maybe there'll be one in the future. Obviously he's not ruling out the possibility of down the line picking this back up again. But for now, no more Mindhunter. So that was it. So just one cancellation this week. So hopefully that isn't something that you're excited to watch. I hope that hasn't disheartened you, as I know cancellations have done to me in the past. So we move on to something more positive, and let's jump into new movies and shows. So Tim Burton has announced that he is going to look to adapt the Addams Family into a live action TV show. I think as a TV series, I think the Addams Family would work really well. Obviously a more storytelling time, more wacky adventures for the family to go on. And obviously Tim Burton, this is right up his alley. This is his style of filmmaking. I think he will smash it with the Addams Family. I think he's going to make an absolute success of that. I think, honestly, you couldn't get a better director involved in that series. So I'm all in. Tim Burton, Addams Family, that's all I need to hear. That sounds perfect. So Simon Kinberg, who is known for bringing us films like The Martian and the Wolverine film Logan, has announced that he is going to be taking on the movie of Battlestar Galactica. Obviously, this is the big sci-fi epic TV show. This finished a good 10 odd years ago, I believe. Not a show I watched, so if that's wrong, I do apologise if I've muddled that up. I believe it's been about that long since it was last on. But it is now getting a movie. Nothing much has been told about the movie. It's going to be a reboot or a sequel or just a follow-on from the series. I don't know. But hopefully, if you're a big Battlestar Galactica fan, that is good news for you. If you are a big Battlestar Galactica fan, I would love to know in the comments a bit about it, because I'm a big sci-fi fan. So I would love to maybe delve into that. Maybe help me out where to start with that. Is it just season 1 or what I should do? Let me know. I'd love to find out. But this is good news for me. Michael B. Jordan has announced he's going to be jumping into his directorial debut job in a film franchise that is very close to my heart, and that will be for Creed 3. I generally didn't know there was going to be a Creed 3. I felt Creed 2 wrapped up that storyline quite well, but I did have my fingers crossed for a 3. Rocky is a massive, massive part of my life. It's one of my favourite films of all time, and the franchise I adore. And I thought Creed stepped up a notch, and I loved Creed, both Creed films, massively. So the fact that there's a Creed 3, I'm fine. I know a lot of people might be like, oh, I'm making another one. I'm all in. I don't care what the storyline is. I'll be there opening day. I love those films. Michael B. Jordan, obviously, he has had a hand in making, I think it was like Mercy, I think the film was called. But this is going to be his first directorial job as Creed 3. Obviously a role that he's already very much aware of. He's done that role twice now. So I think this is a perfect jumping on point for your first film with a franchise that you're very much in, you know all about, and you're fully invested in. Kenya Barris, to get his surname correctly, who is known for creating the TV show Blackish, obviously a hugely successful show out in America. He's set to be writing a Richard Pryor biopic. Richard Pryor, obviously one of the greatest comedians of all time, and definitely one of the most influential. I have heard bits about his life from his stand-ups. Obviously quite a colourful life and quite a colourful past. So I'm assuming it will be a very, very interesting biopic. I'm a big fan of biopics anyway, so I'll be definitely interested in this. But Richard Pryor, obviously a fantastic comedian, a legendary comedian. I'd love, and I can't wait to hear more about his life in this film. So it's one I will definitely be looking out for. Netflix have announced that they're going to be creating an Assassin's Creed TV series. Obviously, we had that Michael Fassbender film, which was, I'm going to say my views on it. I didn't enjoy it that much. I found it quite boring. I don't play the games. I was going into this completely blind, and I just didn't care for the whole film. I was very much let down. But I do love the idea of Assassin's Creed. What I've heard about the storylines, I think it's very clever and very interesting. So I will definitely be jumping into this. Obviously, we had the Witcher series, which was another Netflix original series based on a computer game, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I loved that. So I'm all invested in an Assassin's Creed TV series. As I said, I love the idea of the Assassin's Creed story. So I'm definitely interested in this 100%. No idea when it's going to be announced yet, but they have released a little teaser poster and things like that so far. So I'm assuming they are well into production. And finally, if you're a fan of the Netflix series based on the Harlan Coben novels, so far I've had The Stranger and Safe, both of which I thoroughly enjoyed. Netflix have announced they're making another series based on a Harlan Coben novel. And all these series have been one-off series, so it's like a one series and done kind of thing. I'm assuming this will be the next one. It's going to be based on the Harlan Coben novel Stay Close. And they've even gone as far as announcing some of the cast, which include Cush Jumbo, Richard Armitage, James Nesbitt, and Sarah Parish. So a fantastic cast there. A really good British cast, but no one's shocked when you look at the cast of, obviously, Seyfried had Michael C. Hall and Amanda Abington, and obviously The Stranger, which also had Richard Armitage, Jennifer Saunders, and obviously a fantastic cast around them. So these series do put in good casts of British actors, and obviously Michael C. Hall playing a British person with his questionable Manchester accent. But either way, both of those series have been absolutely fantastic and ones I've really enjoyed. So I'm all in for another series based on a Harlan Coben novel. So that's all it for new shows and new TV shows. Let's try that again. New TV shows and movies. Which ones are you looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. Please do. Let's jump into other news. So a few things in just general news. Something I talked about in my video on Monday. A video titled "Is the virus killing cinema?" I talked about the story, which is No Time to Die, the new James Bond film, have approached so far Apple TV and Netflix about them selling them this film for their streaming service. They have asked for $600 million for this film. And so far, Apple TV and Netflix have both turned down this opportunity due to that high price tag. Obviously, MGM and James Bond need to make their money back. So obviously obviously make a profit. So that's why the price tag is so high. I'm assuming that is what their estimations on their box office would be at a minimum. I'm assuming, because I'm assuming James Bond would make a minimum of 600 million on upwards. In normal circumstances, not when a global pandemic is about. My thoughts on that, if you want to hear my thoughts on that in general, I've done quite a lengthy video, as I said on Monday, called "Why is the virus killing cinema?" Please do check that out if you want to hear my full thoughts on that subject. I try and air out both sides of this story, the cinema view and streaming service and movie production views on going straight to streaming service. If you want to jump in that conversation, do head over to that video. Oscar Isaac, obviously most notable for playing Poe Dameron in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and obviously so many other fantastic films. He's being heavily rumoured to be taking on the role of Moon Knight in the Disney Plus MCU TV show of the same name, Moon Knight. Obviously, this is the going to be the next one joining the MCU. I know a little about this character, but not too much. Oscar Isaac, obviously a fantastic actor, so definitely one I'll be jumping into. And obviously, I'm all in for MCU anyway. I love the MCU. Nothing can do no wrong for me. So I'm definitely going to be there as soon as that goes up to streaming service on Disney Plus. Obviously, it's going to be another good, I'd say another 2 years at least to get that, if it only isn't still rumouring their cast for the main star, but one I'll be looking out for nonetheless. And sticking with the MCU Disney Plus series, Blade, which obviously we got announced about 2 years ago, that Mahershala Ali will be playing Blade. I thought this was going to be a film personally, but it's been announced that it will be a TV series, which I'd assume will be on Disney Plus. I'm not sure how it'll work for Disney Plus, because this was obviously is quite family orientated, or Blade obviously is quite violent and more adult based. I'm hoping they do get to stick with. Obviously, I knew it was going to turn it down for MCU anyway, but I'm wondering how much they're going to have to turn it down if it's going to go be Disney Plus original. I hope not too much. But one, again, I am very much looking forward to. And again, with the MCU news, looks like Thor Love and Thunder are getting ready to start production. And it's been revealed that Christian Bale, who is obviously already been previously announced that he's going to be a large role in this film, has touched down in Sydney to start filming. So obviously that means filming will start in the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll have that film next year or 2022. sooner the better in my eyes. I love the Thor films. Obviously Ragnarok killed it, so I'm very excited to see where this one goes, as I know Taika Waititi is back in a directorial role. And finally, to bring this episode to a close, Brian Edward Hill, known for the writer of DC's Titans, has announced that he has started working on a live-action Power Rangers movie with Jonathan Entwistle directing. Not been announced if this is a brand new clean slate film or going to be a follow-up from the live-action film from about 4 or 5 years ago. So I must admit I didn't see it. I saw the trailers and it didn't look like my sort of thing. Even though I do like Power Rangers, this one looked a bit too much for me, a bit too maybe younger than my age range. But I'm all up for jumping into it again. I said I love Power Rangers as a kid, so it has that nostalgia for me, so I'm definitely up for jumping back into that 100%. So that's all I have for movie news for you this week. I hope you did enjoy that. I really do. Did I miss anything you want to talk about? Do drop it in the comments below. I do respond to all comments. Let's do start a conversation down there. And if you did enjoy this video, please do consider that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, I do trailer reactions, movie reviews, general movie talk, and of course this weekly movie news. If that does sound like your sort of thing, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. I do hope you have a good day. And if you only jump into these movie news once a week, I hope you have a good week. I am Mr. Scotty Pie, and I am out of here.